The steady hum of the ship's engine was a constant reminder that we were far from the comforts of home, sailing through the treacherous waters of the Gulf of Aden. As a U.S. Navy SEAL, I had seen my fair share of danger, but the weight of anticipation always felt heavy. I leaned against the railing, watching the endless expanse of sea, lost in my thoughts about the upcoming mission. Our team, a tight-knit group trained to handle the most demanding situations, was assembled on the deck for the mission briefing. The objective seemed straightforward: rescue hostages from a vessel hijacked by Somali pirates. Yet, in our line of work, straightforward was a term we seldom trusted. The commander's voice cut through the sea breeze, detailing our approach. We were to stealthily board the vessel under the cover of night, neutralize the threat, and secure the hostages. Every word spoken was absorbed with the utmost seriousness. Lives were at stake, and there was no room for error. As the briefing concluded, the team dispersed to prepare. I checked my gear, ensuring everything was in perfect order. My rifle felt familiar in my hands, a reminder of the countless hours spent training. Despite the routine nature of the preparations, a sense of unease lingered. Operations like this were unpredictable, and the fear of the unknown was a shadow that followed us. The camaraderie among us was palpable as we shared jokes and light banter. It was our way of coping with the stress, a brief respite from the gravity of our task. Yet, beneath the laughter, there was an unspoken understanding of the seriousness of our mission. I took a moment to reflect on the journey that led me here, the grueling training, the sacrifices, the missions that had tested the limits of my physical and mental strength. Each experience had forged me into the soldier I was today, yet the apprehension never fully diminished. As night fell, the ship grew quiet, the darkness enveloping us like a cloak. We gathered once more, this time in silence, each man lost in his own ritual of mental preparation. The operation was imminent, and the tension was almost tangible. We boarded the small, stealthy boats that would carry us to our target. The roar of the engines was muffled, a necessary discretion for the task at hand. I looked at my teammates, their faces set in grim determination. We were ready. The coastline loomed in the distance, a silhouette against the moonlit sky. My heart raced with a mix of fear and adrenaline. This was it, the moment of truth where training met reality. As the shoreline neared, I took a deep breath, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The unknown was our arena, and we were about to step into it once more. The night was eerily calm as we approached the hijacked vessel. Our boats glided silently through the water, shadows merging with the darkness. The tension was palpable. Every SEAL knew the importance of surprise in an operation like this. We were ghosts, unseen yet ever present. As we neared the ship, the silhouette of the hijacked vessel loomed large against the starry sky. My heart pounded in my chest, a rhythmic reminder of the danger we were about to face. We readied our weapons, a symphony of clicks and clacks, the prelude to the imminent action. Our team boarded the ship with practiced precision. We moved swiftly, clearing each section. The ship seemed deserted, a ghostly echo of its former self. The silence was unsettling, a stark contrast to the chaos we had anticipated. It was then we realized the situation was not as we had expected. In a twist of fate, we encountered a group of rival pirates, also intent on taking control of the vessel. Tension crackled in the air, a standoff at the brink of eruption. But in a moment of unexpected clarity, our team leader made a bold decision. An alliance, however uneasy, was formed with the rival group. The enemy of our enemy was, for now, our friend. The dynamics of the mission shifted drastically. We found ourselves coordinating with those we usually fought against. This unusual alliance was disconcerting, yet it offered a unique advantage. The rival pirates knew the hijackers' tactics, a crucial piece of intelligence. As we planned our combined assault, I couldn't help but feel a sense of surrealism. Here we were, working alongside those we had trained to combat. The irony was not lost on me, but in the unpredictable world of covert operations, adaptability was key. The night deepened as we strategized. Our new allies were rough around the edges, their language peppered with bravado. Yet, beneath their rugged exterior, there was a shared understanding of the sea's harsh realities. In their eyes, I saw reflections of our own, the resolve to survive, to fight another day. The plan was set. We would launch a two-pronged attack at dawn. Our team would breach from the starboard side, while our unlikely allies would create a diversion. The element of surprise was still our greatest weapon, and now we had the added advantage of insider knowledge. As the first light of dawn broke the horizon, a sense of resolve settled over me. The operation was risky, the outcome uncertain, but we were SEALs, trained to embrace the unknown. With our new allies at our side, we readied ourselves for the assault. The sun rose, casting the first light on what was to be a day of unexpected alliances and unforeseen challenges. As dawn painted the sky with streaks of orange and purple, we initiated our assault on the hijacked vessel. The air was thick with tension, each of us keenly aware of the risks involved. Our approach was stealthy, yet swift, our movements a testament to years of rigorous training. The first sign of trouble was unexpected but decisive, the sound of a muffled scream. We had found the hostages, but their situation was far more complex than we had anticipated. Among them was a high-profile political figure, a revelation that sent ripples of shock through our team. The presence of such a VIP not only escalated the stakes, but also brought an unwelcome spotlight on our operation. As we secured the area, ensuring the safety of the hostages, another twist emerged. Our commanding officer quietly pulled me aside, his expression grave. He revealed the true nature of our mission. It wasn't just a rescue operation. We were also tasked with retrieving sensitive information, intelligence that was being smuggled by the pirates. This hidden agenda cast a new light on the mission. I felt a twinge of betrayal. We were soldiers, not spies. Yet, the orders were clear. The intelligence we were after could have significant implications for national security. Torn between the duty to rescue the hostages and the clandestine objective, I found myself grappling with a moral dilemma. Our team regrouped, focusing on the immediate task at hand, the safe extraction of the hostages. The VIP, visibly shaken but unharmed, was a priority. We moved methodically, clearing each section of the ship, ever mindful of the hidden dangers that could lurk around any corner. Amidst the chaos, I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease about the hidden agenda. War, I had learned, was never black and white. It was a murky world of gray, where right and wrong often blurred. This mission was a stark reminder of that reality. As we prepared to move the hostages off the vessel, our situation took another turn. The ship, it seemed, was rigged with explosives, a trap set by the pirates. Our escape plan was now a race against time. We had to evacuate the hostages and find the intelligence before the entire ship was blown to pieces. The tension was almost unbearable as we worked against the clock. Every second counted, every decision was critical. The weight of responsibility bore down on me, a constant companion in these life or death situations. With the hostages safely aboard our boats and the crucial intelligence in our possession, we made a hasty retreat. The sun was now high in the sky, a stark contrast to the dark reality of our operation. As the ship faded into the distance, a series of explosions rocked its frame, a fiery testament to the close call we had just experienced. The mission was a success, but the victory was bittersweet. The complexity of our orders and the moral ambiguities we faced left me with more questions than answers. In the shadowy world of special operations, the line between right and wrong was often indistinct, a truth that was becoming increasingly hard to reconcile. Back on our ship, the mood was subdued. The successful rescue of the hostages and retrieval of the intelligence should have been a cause for celebration, but the revelations and close calls of the mission weighed heavily on us. We debriefed in silence, each man lost in his own thoughts, processing the day's events. Our respite was short-lived. An urgent message came through. Intelligence indicated another group of pirates was preparing to retaliate for the loss of their comrades and the hijacked vessel. We were to intercept them before they could launch an attack. The mission was back on, and we had to move fast. As night fell again, we set out, the sea whispering secrets under the moonlight. We approached the suspected location of the pirates, our boat slicing through the water with practiced stealth. But as we neared, our navigation systems flickered and went dead. A technological failure, unexpected and utterly crippling. We were blind in enemy waters, a situation every SEAL dreaded. The tension escalated quickly. Without our navigation systems, we were at a severe disadvantage. We relied on our training and instincts to navigate, a stark reminder of the importance of old-school skills in the high-tech world of modern warfare. The darkness was our only ally as we moved forward, guided by the stars and the subtle cues of the sea. The silence was oppressive, a stark contrast to the usual hum of our equipment. Every sound, every ripple in the water was amplified, heightening our senses to their limits. Then, without warning, we were ambushed. The quiet night erupted in gunfire, the suddenness of the attack catching us off guard. We were trained for situations like this, but the shock of the ambush in our compromised state was a brutal test of our resilience. The firefight was intense, the pirates emerging from the shadows like phantoms. Bullets whizzed past, the air charged with danger and desperation. We fought back with precision, each man a crucial part of a well-oiled machine, but the lack of communication equipment made coordination difficult. In the chaos, I found myself separated from the team, alone in the darkness. My heart pounded in my chest, a mixture of adrenaline and fear. I relied on my training, moving silently, striking with precision. The darkness was no longer an enemy, but a cloak I wore to survive. After what seemed like an eternity, the gunfire ceased. We regrouped, each of us accounting for the other. The ambush was a stark reminder of the ever-present danger in our line of work, a danger that was amplified by our technological failure. As we made our way back to the ship, the first light of dawn was breaking. The night's events had taken a toll on us, both physically and mentally. The ambush and the failure of our equipment were sobering reminders of the unpredictability of warfare and the need to be prepared for anything. In the world of a Navy SEAL, complacency was never an option. The aftermath of the ambush left us all reeling. We had narrowly escaped a potentially disastrous situation, but our challenges were far from over. As we regrouped on the ship, the reality of our close call sunk in, and a tense silence hung over the team. Before we could fully process the events, our situation took another dramatic turn. Intelligence came in about a new pirate stronghold, a key location where several high-ranking members were believed to be hiding. The decision was made to strike immediately, while the trail was hot. We geared up, the memory of the recent ambush fresh in our minds, a silent motivator to stay sharp. As we approached the new target location, the tension was palpable. We moved in under the cover of darkness, but this time we were on high alert, every sense attuned to the slightest sound or movement. The plan was to infiltrate the compound, capture the pirate leaders, and gather any intelligence we could find. The operation started smoothly. We breached the compound with precision, neutralizing guards and securing the perimeter. But as we delved deeper, it became apparent that we had walked into a trap. The pirates had been expecting us, and we were quickly overwhelmed by their numbers. In the ensuing chaos, several of us, myself included, were captured. The reality of being a prisoner was a stark contrast to the control and power we were accustomed to as SEALs. We were stripped of our weapons and gear, bound and blindfolded. The uncertainty of our situation was a psychological torment, each of us grappling with our vulnerability. The pirates moved us to an unknown location, the journey a blur of rough handling and disorientation. When the blindfolds were finally removed, we found ourselves in a dimly lit room, the air thick with the smell of the sea and unwashed bodies. Our captors were ruthless, their ease cold and calculating. They saw us not as people, but as pawns in their game of power and intimidation. Yet, Amidst the hostility, I couldn't help but see a reflection of the desperation that drove them. These were men pushed to the edge by circumstances, their moral compass skewed by survival. During our captivity, we were interrogated, the pirates seeking information about our operations and tactics. We gave them nothing, each of us holding on to the SEAL creed, even in the face of adversity. The experience was a test of our mental fortitude, a reminder of the strength and resilience ingrained in us through our training. As the hours turned into days, the situation seemed increasingly dire. We were cut off from our team, unsure if a rescue was even possible. The weight of our predicament was heavy, the uncertainty a constant torment. But even in the depths of captivity, we held on to hope, the unspoken bond between us a source of strength. Our captivity was not just a physical challenge but a moral one. It forced us to confront the harsh realities of our profession, the blurred lines between right and wrong, and the true cost of war. In those dark moments, we faced not only our captors, but also the deeper conflicts within ourselves. In the cramped, dimly lit room where we were held, time seemed to stand still. The days blurred into one long, unending night. Our captors were vigilant, ensuring we had no chance of escape. But our training as SEALs had taught us to be patient, to wait for the right moment. As we bided our time, an unexpected ally came to our aid, not in the form of a daring rescue mission, but as a force of nature. A storm began to brew, the likes of which I hadn't seen before. The wind howled like a banshee, and the walls of our prison shuddered under the fury of the tempest. In the midst of this chaos, our captors became distracted, their attention split between keeping us contained and securing their own safety. This was the opportunity we had been waiting for. We began to work on our restraints, using whatever small, overlooked objects we could find. The storm intensified, turning into a full-blown cyclone. The building we were in groaned and creaked, threatening to give way at any moment. Water began to seep in, flooding the lower levels. It was a desperate situation, a fight for survival against the unleashed fury of nature. In a twist of fate, our captors, realizing the severity of the situation, decided to abandon the compound, fleeing for their own lives. They left us behind, still bound but with a glimmer of hope. We redoubled our efforts, finally freeing ourselves from our restraints. Once free, we moved quickly, navigating through the rapidly flooding building. The storm outside was a maelstrom, but we had no choice but to brave it. Our training had prepared us for extreme situations, but this was a challenge unlike any other. The compound was located near the coast, and as we emerged, we saw the sea churning violently, the storm surging with unrelenting power. We had to make a decision: stay and risk being trapped, or attempt to find shelter in the midst of the tempest. We chose the latter, relying on our training and instincts to guide us. The rain lashed at us like whips, and the wind howled in our ears, but we pressed on. Every step was a battle, the elements a relentless adversary. As we navigated through the storm, we came across a small, abandoned fishing hut. It was barely standing, but it offered a temporary respite from the storm. We huddled inside, our bodies exhausted but our spirits unbroken. The storm raged on for hours, a testament to nature's raw power. As SEALs, we were trained to face human adversaries, to combat tangible threats. But this was a different kind of battle, a fight against an uncontrollable and indifferent force. It was a humbling experience, a reminder of our own mortality and the sheer power of nature. In the end, the storm passed, leaving behind a trail of destruction. But it also left us with a renewed sense of determination. We had survived the fury of nature, and now we were resolved to make our way back, to rejoin our team and complete our mission. The storm had been both a literal and metaphorical tempest, and in its wake, we found the strength to carry on. The morning after the storm revealed a world transformed. The landscape was littered with debris, the aftermath of nature's fury. We emerged from the fishing hut, our bodies sore but spirits lifted by the light of day. Our immediate goal was clear: regroup with our team and report back. But our situation was dire. We were stranded, weaponless, and still deep in hostile territory. As we scouted the area, we stumbled upon an unexpected stroke of luck. Among the debris left by the storm, we found a small, damaged but functional radio. It was a lifeline, a chance to contact our team. We quickly set to work, repairing it with bits of wire and metal scavenged from the wreckage. While working on the radio, we heard faint voices nearby. Cautiously, we approached and discovered a group of hostages who had escaped during the storm, including the high-profile political figure we had initially rescued. Among them was a surprise, a former military operative, now a private contractor, who had been captured in a separate incident. This former operative, though weakened from captivity, proved to be an invaluable asset. With his knowledge of the area and survival skills, our odds of getting out alive suddenly looked better. He helped us repair the radio, and together we managed to send out a distress signal, giving our coordinates and situation. As we waited for rescue, we fortified our position. The former operative's experience complemented our own training. He shared techniques for camouflage and setting up rudimentary traps for protection, skills honed in different environments, but applicable in our current predicament. The hours passed, and the wait was excruciating. Every noise was a potential threat, and the tension was palpable. But our collective resolve didn't waver. We were a mixed group of soldiers and civilians, but adversity had forged us into a single unit, each person playing a vital role in our survival. Finally, as the sun began to set, we heard the distant sound of helicopters. Rescue was on its way. We lit a small fire, using damp leaves to create smoke signals. The sound of the rotors grew louder, a symphony to our ears, signaling the end of our ordeal. The rescue was swift. Our team, along with additional support, secured the area. As we boarded the helicopters, relief washed over me. The mission had taken unexpected turns, testing us in ways we couldn't have imagined. But we had adapted, survived, and completed our objective. Looking back at the coastline as we flew away, I reflected on the events of the past few days. The operation had been more than a military engagement. It was a testament to human resilience and the power of unexpected alliances. In the face of adversity, we had found strength in each other, transcending the boundaries of military and civilian, captor and captive. The experience had changed us all, a chapter in our lives marked by struggle, cooperation, and the indomitable human spirit. As the helicopter cut through the sky, carrying us away from the turmoil, I found a moment to breathe. The adrenaline that had fueled me was now receding, leaving behind a mix of exhaustion and contemplation. Our mission had spiraled into a series of unforeseen events, each more challenging than the last. Back at base, we were debriefed. The details of our ordeal were laid bare, our experiences dissected and analyzed. But more than the tactical outcomes, it was the personal revelations that stayed with me. The mission had exposed us to the rawest forms of fear, camaraderie, betrayal, and survival. One revelation, however, stood out starkly. We learned that the pirate leader we had been contending with was driven by a personal vendetta. Years ago, during an earlier operation, we had inadvertently caused the death of his brother. This mission wasn't just business for him, it was deeply personal. This insight shed new light on the ferocity and determination of our adversaries. This knowledge was unsettling. In the world of special operations, enemies are often faceless. Understanding the personal motivations behind the pirate leader's actions brought a human element to the conflict, blurring the lines between right and wrong. It was a reminder that in war, every action has a ripple effect, touching lives far beyond the immediate conflict. As I sat there, processing everything, I couldn't help but reflect on the nature of our profession. We were trained to be warriors, to face danger without flinching. But this mission had shown that being a SEAL was more than that. It was about adaptability, resilience, and, most importantly, the ability to maintain our humanity in the face of adversity. In the days that followed, Life on base slowly returned to normal. But for those of us who had lived through the mission, normal had taken on a new meaning. We carried the experiences with us, the memories etched into our being. The political figure we had rescued was returned to safety, and the intelligence we had gathered was proving invaluable. Our unexpected alliance with the former military operative led to a stronger collaboration with private contractors, and the storm, which had seemed like a curse, turned out to be a blessing in disguise, offering us a chance at survival. As I prepared for my next deployment, I realized that this mission would always stand out. It was a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of our work. We had faced a formidable enemy, survived a natural disaster, and navigated the murky waters of moral conflict. But more than that, it was a testament to the human spirit. We had come face to face with our own vulnerabilities and emerged stronger. We had forged bonds in the unlikeliest of places, proving that even in the darkest of times there is light to be found. The mission was over, but its lessons would stay with me forever. In the world of a Navy SEAL, the only certainty is uncertainty, but it's in the midst of chaos that we truly find out who we are. And as the helicopter flew into the horizon, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them head-on, with courage, determination, and an unwavering commitment to our duty.